Library. My name is Juan, and this is Mr. Sam.
Hello everyone.
And today we're going to learn all about Mars, and you're going to help you build your very own Mars lander. Now, let's get started.
So what is Mars?
Mars is the fourth planet in our solar system. It is slightly smaller than Earth, but it is all red and it has even less gravity than we do. In fact, if I were to go to Mars, I would weigh less there.
And why does it have the red color to it?
Mainly, it is all the dirt and particles and chemicals that are on Mars' surface. A lot of people just think that the reason it's red is because of all the iron in the dirt there.
What exactly is the difference between a rover and a satellite?
I'm glad you asked. The difference between a satellite and a rover is a satellite will stay in the orbit of the planet. It can't go any lower. It can only take so many pictures from that height. A rover, however, is like a mini RC car that has been landed on the surface. And from there, it starts taking pictures of the surface and it starts even analyzing some of the soil samples. In fact, this little dot right there, that is the Curiosity rover. That one was launched a couple years ago prior to the one that was launched recently called Perseverance. Alright, now let's get started with our fun activity. Now, Mr. Sam, what are we doing today?
So we're actually going to be creating our very own lander that could work on Mars.
Wow. Now, I see that we have different kinds of materials. What kind of materials are we going to be using today?
So to create my lander, we're going to be using 4 household materials that you might have at home. Cardboard, a small paper cup, index cards, and tape.
Now, those are some of the materials Mr. Sam is using, but me, I will be using some different materials. I will be using straws, paper, plate, a paper plate, some bowls, some glue, some scissors. And from astronauts, we will both
Going to land onto the planet and it's going to absorb some of the force that's going to be hitting the lander. So now that we have this, we're going to go ahead and attach a cardboard cup, which is actually going to be where we're going to place our astronauts inside of. So to do this, you're just going to want to tape on 4 sides of the cup. So now that we have our tape on our cup, we're ready to attach it to our cardboard square. And then just make sure that you place it on the middle of your cardboard square, and then you'll be all set. And it should look something like this after. And it's all done. We're just ready to add in our astronauts inside, and we can test it out.
Wow, that was really cool, Mr. Sam. Now let's see mine. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab my paper bowl, and I'm going to get my paper plate, and I'm going to glue the paper bowl to the paper plate. A healthy glob of glue. And then we're just going to push that all together. And we're going to wait for that to dry. In the meantime, I'm going to grab my piece of paper, and I'm going to cut it into 4 identical squares. I lied, they don't have to be identical, but they have to be squares. Okay, I lied about that too, they can be rectangles. Awesome. Next, what we're gonna do is, I'm actually gonna steal a little bit of tape from Mr. Sam, don't tell him. And I'm gonna use them on my straws. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the paper off the straws first. And I'm going to tape these here to serve as little fins. Now these should help slow down the lander on descent by catching air. As you can see, I now have 4 fins. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to tape these to the sides of my lander. So, as you can see, I taped my 4 fins to my lander. Kind of looks like a pinwheel. That's pretty cool. Now, all that's left to do is add our astronauts and see who built the better lander. All right, Mr. Sam, looks like you built a lander, I built a lander. Let's see who made the better lander.
Let's test them out.
Let's test them out. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Looks like they both worked.
Yes, they did. Now, his worked because on the bottom, these absorbed all the energy that should have knocked the astronauts out into the air. Mine worked because these little flaps slowed it down just enough so it can land. The real lander uses a little bit of both of these techniques to land a rover on Mars, where it's where it's really rough and rugged, and sometimes it's always windy. It's really dangerous up there, so it needs everything it can get to guarantee a safe landing. Now, that was pretty fun. Don't you think, Mr. Sam?
It was a lot of fun.
We would really love to see all the beautiful Mars landers that you guys have made. And you could share it with us by
Using the hashtag AnaheimSteam, or you could also tag us at Anaheim Library.
Now, I hope you guys had a lot of fun, and we hope to see you next week. Have a wonderful day.
We'll
Bye-bye.
see you guys next time.